Today we will continue with our triangles. Now in this lesson, we will explore the relationship between the exterior angle of a triangle and the opposite interior angles. Let's start. So what is an exterior angle of a triangle? Let's look at this. First of all, I have a triangle over here. So here we have the three sides of the triangle, and this part is the interior part of our triangle. This three angles over here, they are the interior angles, right? The interior angles. Now if I take this line and I extend it, I'll get this figure over here. So I have my three interior angles, and immediately I have an angle outside this triangle, this green dot there, and I call that part my exterior angle of my triangle. Right, so if I take another example and I extend this line, right, and I get my exterior angle and my interior angle is over here. Now you can see from your previous knowledge that the exterior angle and the interior angle over here, they are adjacent because they share the same vertex. So we also know that the two of them add up to 180 degrees. The same over here. That is my exterior angle, that's my interior angle, which is adjacent. Share the same vertex, they add up to 180. Another one over here. Okay, I extended the line into this direction, and this is my exterior angle, that is my adjacent interior angle. That too, they are not adjacent to this exterior angle, only this angle here. And you know this two add up to 180 degrees. Take another example. Now before we go to the other example, an exterior angle is formed by extending a side. So the minute you extend one of the sides, over there and over there, you get an exterior angle, right? So an exterior angle is formed by extending a side. Now the sum of the interior and the exterior angle that share the same vertex is 180 degrees. This two, they add up to 180. That two add up to 180, and that two. They all share the same vertex. They're on a straight line. In this figure, I extended all three sides of my triangle, all three sides. Immediately you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exterior angles, 2 by each vertex. 2 over there, 2 over there, and 2 over there. Right. This one, what about this one here? This one is opposite the interior angle, so it is not an exterior angle. The same over here. This angle here is opposite that one. It's not the exterior angle, and also the same with this angle here. So the only time we can call it an exterior angle is when the exterior and the interior add up to 180 when they share a common vertex. This two add up to 180, that two add up to 180, the same over here and the same over there. Right, so if we extend all three sides of a triangle, we get the accompanying figure. The triangle has 6 exterior angles and 2 at each vertex. Right, there are outside angles that are vertically opposite angles inside. So it's vertically opposite the angles inside. This one, that one, and that one. They are not called exterior angles of a triangle. Remember that. The exterior angle and the interior angle must be adjacent. Right, this two. So this is exterior angles of a triangle. Now, what is the relationship between exterior and interior angles? Let's find out. Here I have this figure over here. This angle here is the exterior angle. This one is the adjacent angle. So these two angles, we say they are opposite 120 degrees. Or angle A and angle C, they are opposite the exterior angle ADE. Right. Interior angle A and interior angle C are opposite exterior ADE. Right. Second example. PMO, this one of 150, that is our exterior angle. Opposite this exterior angle is N and O. 30 is adjacent to the exterior angle, right? But the two opposite the exterior angle, they are N and O. So I have it here for you. Exterior PMO, PMO is opposite interior N and interior O. And a last example of this group, YZW, that's our exterior angle. Opposite YZW is X and Y. Not this one here, because this one is adjacent to YZW. So interior X and Y are opposite exterior WZY. Right, now another one. Now I'll have to take out my pencil. Okay. If ADC is 60, now you know already that three angles of a triangle add up to 180, but you also know that the two adjacent angles add up to 180. So if this one is 60, right? If that one is 60. Now I don't know the size of A, I don't know the size of C, but I know that if I subtract this 60 from 180, I will get 120. So you can actually see that this angle A plus angle C must be equal to 120. Right, A plus C is equal to 120. I do not know the size of each one, but I know that the sum of the two must be 120 degrees. Why? Because this one is 60, so that two together must be 120 degrees. So if ADC is 60 degrees, the sum of A and C is equal to 120. Let's look at this one. Exterior angle PMO is equal to 150. So the one next to him must be 30. Right. We do not know the size of angle N and angle O, but we know this angle is 30, then the sum of these two must be 150. Why? Because three angles of a triangle is equal to 180. So N plus O is equal to 150 degrees. Right. 180 minus this 30 is 150. Maybe N is 70, then O will be 80. But we do not know the sizes of each one. All we know is that the sum of N and O is 150 degrees. So they tell you here again, if NMO is equal to 30 degrees, the sum of N and O is 150. Look at the last one. If XZY is 40, right, this one is 40, we know it's true because of this supplementary adjacent angles on a straight line. Then the sum of these two must be, yes, you're right, 140 degrees. Right, because three angles of a triangle add up to 180. So X plus Y is equal to 140 degrees. Right. In the next example, we have the values of the angles for you. A is equal to 55, B is equal to 80, and they also give you the value of the angle that we call the exterior angle. ACD is equal to 135 degrees. A is equal to 55 here, and B is equal to 80. If we add these two together, we get 135 degrees. So the sum of A plus B, 55 plus 80, is exactly the same as the exterior, the size of the exterior angle. Same, right? This one, if this one is 135, this one is 45, right? 45 degrees, because they're on a straight line. But this two, if you add this two, you get exactly the same amount as the size of the exterior angle. That means that ACD is equal to angle A plus angle B. For that reason, we can say the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles, or the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the non-adjacent angles. This is the adjacent angles, that is the non-adjacent angles. Exterior angle is also equal to the sum of the non-adjacent angles. Right. Here we have the steps to find the values of unknown angles. So by now you know that is my one interior angle and the other one. They are opposite the exterior angle, and now we know that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So we'll use that method. Calculate the value of A in the sketch. Right? So we say 20 plus A is equal to 50 degrees, and the reason. Right? Exterior angle is equal to the opposite interior angles. In the next step, you will subtract and you will get your answer. A is equal to 30 degrees. Next example. Look at it over here. Now B, there's two triangles over here. So B over here is the exterior angle of this triangle, and 60 is the exterior angle of this triangle here. So 32 plus A, these two, they are the opposite. Opposite A plus 32 is this 60, and opposite 60 plus 62 is B. So B is the exterior angle of this triangle here, and 60 is the exterior angle of this triangle here. So we'll start. A plus 32 is equal to that 60. Reason, exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So A is equal to 60 minus 32 degrees, and A is equal to 28. So I'll write in the 28 here. Alright, that's 28 degrees. Okay, now we continue with B. In this case, B again is the exterior angle of this triangle. So B is equal to the sum of 60 and 62. And here we say B is equal to 60 plus 62 degrees. Exterior angles equal to the opposite interior angles. And B is equal to 122. So B is over there. Okay, B over there. 122 degrees. But can you see we have this big triangle here? The big one. So B is also the exterior angle of the big triangle here. And the two angles opposite B, the two interior angles opposite B, is also this one and that one there. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. So B, this B, is equal to this 32 plus that 28 plus that 62. And you get exactly the same answer. B is equal to 122 degrees. Right, we will continue now with the exercise. Determine the sizes of unknown angles in each of these sketches and state reasons for your answers. So we start with this one. You can see A is the exterior angle, and 52 and 73, they are the opposite interior angles. And we know now that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So A is equal to 52 degrees plus 73 degrees. Exterior angle is equal to opposite interior angles, and A is equal to 125 degrees. Next one. We have 1, 2, 3 unknowns, and the best way to start is with B. Why? Because we know B plus 100 is equal to the exterior angle. This exterior angle is equal to the sum of B and 100. Right? Exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So B plus 100 is equal to 138. Why? Exterior angle is equal to opposite interior angles, and we do the sum. B is equal to 138 minus 100, and B is equal to 38 degrees. 38 degrees. Right, we have B now. So next one, we move to C over here. We can use the method 3 angles of a triangle is equal to 180, or C is adjacent to this 138. So C plus 138 is equal to 180 also. I'll use the 3 angles of a triangle. So C plus 38 plus 100, I have it here. C plus 38 plus 100 is equal to 180. But this time, the reason is 3 angles of triangle. Alright? So C is equal to 180 minus 38 minus 100, and C is equal to 42 degrees. So even if you take 42 plus 138, that's equal to 180. Now we go to D. D is now the exterior angle from this side, and D is equal to this angle plus that angle there. Exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. D is equal to 38 plus 42. Exterior angle equal to opposite interior angles. D is equal to 80. Or D plus 100 is equal to 180 supplementary adjacent angles, or angles on a straight line. So you can see there D is also equal to 80. Here we have isosceles triangles also. How do I know that? Sides are marked the same. So step 1, first decide which angles are equal. Opposite this side here, you see there, opposite this side is that angle. Opposite that side is that angle there. Now we have another triangle which is an isosceles triangle. So opposite this one is H, opposite that side is F. Right. We can't start this side because we have 3 unknowns. We'll start over here because we know that E and 40, they are the same. They are opposite the equal sides. And we start with that one. E is equal to 40. Reason this time, isosceles triangle. Right. So we have E is 40. Can we go to F? Yes. F is the exterior angle of this triangle. Yeah. So F is equal to the opposite, the sum of the opposite interior angles. Right. F is equal to 40 plus 40. Why? Exterior angle of triangles. The exterior is equal to the opposite interior angles. And F is equal to 80. So we have our 80 there. Right. Now we know these 2 sides are equal. So these 2 angles, they are equal. Isosceles triangle, right? And that will be our next one. F is equal to H. Isosceles triangle, H is equal to 80. And there we have it. Next one. G. G is over here. Right. Over there. We know 3 angles of triangle add up to 180, and we use that one. G plus 80 is equal to 180 degrees. 3 angles of triangle. So G is equal to 180 minus 80 and minus the other 80, and G is equal to 20 degrees. Over here, 20 degrees. Right. Next one, D. Here we have 2 parallel lines. Right, let's start. Okay, that line is parallel to this line. So you know immediately you can make use of corresponding angles, alternate angles, or co-interior angles. But we can see here with H, we have a straight line there, common vertex. So H and 58, they are adjacent, right, on a straight line, and they equal to 180. So we start H plus 58 is 180. Angles on a straight line, h, 180 minus 58, and h is equal to 122 degrees. Right, we have that one. Now we can move to K. Why can I move to K? Because of alternate interior angles. This line and that line, they are parallel. And from the parallel line to the transversal, you know that rule? On the opposite side, from the parallel line to the transversal. That is our alternate interior angles. They're in between the parallel lines. Alternate. So K and 58 must be exactly the same. Right, they alternate interior angles between two parallel lines. K is equal to 58 alternate angles. Right, which one must we still find? J. Again, this one here is the exterior angle of this triangle. Can you see there? Here we have a triangle, and J is the exterior angle, and we know the rule. The exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So J is equal to 42 plus 58. And we have it here. J is equal to 42 degrees plus 58. Exterior angle is equal to opposite interior angles, and J is equal to 100 degrees. Next one, over here. Again, two parallel lines. We have one triangle here. Okay, so parallel line, transversal to the parallel line, transversal to the parallel line. These two angles, they are between the parallel lines on the same side of the transversal, and they are the co-interior angles. You still remember that? The co-interior angles. Co-interior angles are not equal. They are equal to 180 degrees. So I will find A by deducting 125 from 180. So A, this is how we will write it out. A plus 125 is equal to 180 co-interior angles, because they're between parallel lines, right? So A is equal to 180 minus 125, and A is equal to 55 degrees. Right, here we have a triangle, so I can see 55 is equal to the opposite interior angles B and C. But we have two unknowns, so we won't be able to find C or B. So I'll have to find B first, because I can see B and 140 is on a straight line. Right, so B plus 140 is equal to 180. Angles on a straight line. B is equal to 180 minus 140, and B is equal to 40 degrees. Now it's possible to use the method that 40 plus that C is equal to 55, because 55 is the exterior angle of this triangle, and the sum of the interior angles, the opposite interior angles, they are equal to the exterior angle. 40 plus C is equal to 55, exterior angle equal to opposite interior angles, C equal to 55 minus 40, and C is equal to 15 degrees. Right, there we have it. And I think this is the last one. Again, we have two parallel lines, and we have, of course, now maybe alternate angles corresponding also co-interior, right? But I can see here I have a vertex. This three angles here, they are all adjacent on a straight line, and they add up to 180. That's the way I can find D. Right. So D plus 118 plus 32 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line, and D is equal to 180 minus 118 minus 32, and D is equal to 30. So I have my 30 there. Right. Okay, let me just take my rubber out. Eraser. I just want to show you something. And back to the pen again. Next one. You see here? Do I have my pen now? No. Okay. Here we see from the parallel line to the transversal, from the parallel line to the same transversal, D and E. You see there? They are alternate angles, D and E. Right. So D, we have D already. D is equal to 30. So D and E, they are exactly the same because they are alternate angles. They are in between this two parallel lines on opposite sides of the transversal, right? One on the one side, one on the other side, and they are exactly the same. And that's our next one. So E is equal to 30 degrees, alternate angles, and they also between parallel lines. So we're right in the 30 over here. Okay. And there's F. F, you can see here, F is the exterior angle of this triangle here. Can you see this triangle? Right. So F is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. Right. 32 plus 30 will give us F. F is equal to 30 plus 32 degrees, exterior angle equal opposite interior angles. F is equal to 62 degrees. Right. And that is the exercise. Here I have exactly the exact same exercise. Now I want you to work through each one. Now if you struggle, please refer back to my explanations and do it until you master this exercise. Right. Now thanks, that's all for the day. And now please subscribe to my channel and you will receive at least 3 lessons every week. Thank you so much. Actually, we have more here. D, E, and F, right?